Back with another video, and we are talking about Dlink's new IP camera. These ones. Let's talk about it. Shout out to Dlink for sending me these IP cameras to review. I know you guys have sent me so much already, and to be honest, I really appreciate it. That gives me the chance to review these and share my thoughts to everyone watching this video. This is part of their new lineup. We have the pan and tilt model and the non-pan and tilt model. So for 1,500 to 1,700 pesos, you get IP cameras that has HD resolution, sound and motion detection, smart features, and so much more. Is that worth their money? Let's find out. Let's start with the DCS 610 model, the non-pan and tilt model. Once you open the box, you get two compartments, one for the camera itself and the other one for all the accessories, the cable and the mounting option. And then you get the manual and the guide. And then for the pan and tilt model, the DCS 650, it's the same concept. You get two compartments, one for the camera and one for everything else. And then you also get the manual and the guide. One thing that's weird with this one though is that this did not come with the mounting option. You have the hole if you look at the camera, but then there's nothing to mount it with. Overall, these are okay, nothing spectacular, but it does the job. Alright, so let's talk about the design first. These have come a long way from the previous models that they've released. I have the older models, which in fact still works as of today, and you can really see the difference. The edges are so much softer and sleeker, which I definitely appreciate. The cameras are flush to the body instead of sticking out, which is definitely a welcome change. It adds to the overall sleek design. And as for the build quality, these are mostly made of plastic, which is fairly common for IP cameras. So let's start with the pan and tilt model. This one measures 11 centimeters for the height and 7 centimeters for the width. And in the front, you get the camera as well as the logo. And of course, if you tilt the camera up, you will get the SD card slot. In the back, you get the speaker and the cable input jack and the reset button. One thing I like about this model is that the reset button is actually sticking out, so you can press it instead of having those where you need a pin to actually reset it. This one's better in my opinion. And at the bottom you get rubber feet and then a provision for mounting, which again is a bit weird because this doesn't come with its own mounting option. I'm pretty sure that this can fit on most camera mounting options, but not everybody has those. I've tried attaching it to some of the camera mounting options I have, and it works fairly well. Now let's talk about the non-pan and tilt model. This one measures 9 centimeters for the height and 5 centimeters for the base, which is perfect for indoor use because you can just tuck it in a corner of your house. In the front of the camera, you get the camera itself and the mic, as well as the logo, which is engraved in front. At the back of the camera, you get the speaker and the jack for connecting the cable. And then at the bottom, you get two rubber feet and then mounting option. This one is a bit better though because this actually comes with mounting screws. The base of the camera has a couple of points of articulation, which allows you to move the camera to capture that perfect angle. And then the cables and adapters that come with these cameras are pretty standard. I just wish they were a bit longer though, so that makes it easier to position your camera in your house, especially if the plug is farther away from your camera. But overall, pretty good build quality for the price. You can't beat that. Now let's move into the setup process. This one is actually pretty straightforward. Like most IP cameras out there, you just have to download the app and do everything remotely. Once you have the app, all you have to do is scan the QR code on the device and just follow the prompts. It'll take you through the steps and fairly quickly you'll have everything set up. And if your camera needs a firmware update, the app itself will tell you. I suggest you do the upgrade, that way you can ensure that all the features on your camera are updated. And now let's talk about the features. Inside the app, you have all your standard features. Talk through the camera, move the camera around for the pan and tilt model. You can do two-way communication using the mic, toggle motion detection, sound detection, and you can even schedule turning it on and off. And there's also a privacy mode if you want to shut it down. You can also toggle day and night mode manually, but in my opinion, I would just leave it to auto. And here are some features that I think are exclusive to Dlink. I haven't seen this anywhere else. First, you have the panorama mode. Basically what it does is it captures a 360 view of the surroundings, then it allows you to move the camera by just pointing where you want it to. This is much more efficient rather than using your finger to swipe and estimating where you want it to land up. And lastly, this is also integrated with smart home platforms. You can do a lot of things like automating turning it on and off, geofencing, and so much more. Alright, now let's take a look at the video quality. Both these cameras actually have a 1080p resolution. The older ones I have, I think, especially for the smaller one, is stuck to a 720p resolution. The day and night videos on both these cameras are pretty good. Here's a side-by-side comparison and a comparison to my old models as well. To me, those are pretty good results. Alright, so should you get this camera? Well, for the price, you're really getting good value. It has a sleek design, fair build quality, more than enough app features, and of course, smart home integration. You can't beat that. And the app itself, I think, is one of the strengths of the Dlink ecosystem. By far, this is the most sophisticated one compared to the ones I've tested in the past. So if you want to start building your home security, you can't go wrong with this one. That's the end of the video. If you want to see more videos about IP cameras, I made a playlist right here, so make sure you check it out. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.